What's going on, y'all? Today we're gonna do something different because I have not thought. I've honestly sat on this idea for almost a year at this point. Actually, over a year at this point. But NBA getting kind of slow. I can't not slow, but like I don't even know what to post. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just post this thing. Our Ben had this idea. Boom. So we finna rank every time loop movie I've watched. Now, some of these, I ain't gonna lie, they're not really time loop movies. They're more movies that just have time travel that's repeated. But in like similar places. But it's close enough. It's close enough. The articles I've read and the freaking ChatGPT I use suggested a lot of these movies. Now, granted, there are some definitely notable absences, including The Butterfly Effect, Looper, and Predestination on this list. But that is because, number one, I hate horror movies. I avoid horror movies at all costs. The only horror movies I've watched have been with other people. I have never watched a horror movie by myself. Number two, hey, all the movies I've watched, I either watched on a streaming platform that I already had, you know what I'm saying? Or for one of them, I couldn't find the movie through other means. So, yeah, pretty much almost all of them, I watched on a streaming platform that I already had. Or like it was on Tubi, it was free. It was on Pluto, it was free. I'm not about to pay Amazon $5 to watch this movie. I'm sorry, though. I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. So, y'all let me know in the comments if you watch one of those movies, if it's fire. Now, there's also a movie called Coherence, I think, that's like kind of... I don't think it's a time movie either. But yeah, these are the movies I watched. So we're going to do what it do. I also watched a couple shows. I watched 11, 20, whatever, 63, but that's not really a time loop movie. It could have been, but it wasn't. I watched Project Lazarus, which is a time loop show, but I didn't really know how to fit it in, so I just didn't really feel like doing that. But yeah, more time loop shows, more time loop media would be cool because I just think it's a great it's a great base foundation that you can do so much with. Like you could generally do so much with the idea of like just the time loop. And I like video games, speed runs, save states, like the idea of being able to go back with this and more information than you had before. But yeah, let's go. 1201. Oh yeah, by the way, the tiers. Timely on top. Honestly, I just wanted to have like time related tiers instead of just having like S A B C D whatever. So yeah, the top tier is timely. You know what I'm saying? Timely. It was due at 12 o'clock. You got there 11:30. You feel me? Timely. You got there on time. Okay, boom. You know what I'm saying? On some like, okay, you had to be at work at 9 o'clock. You got there 8:50. You got there at 9:15. You know, got there 9 o'clock. You know, timely right there. Fashionably late. Okay, you know what I'm saying? It was a little bit late, I ain't gonna lie. A little bit late, but you might have got a little drip on, but we're still late, gang. You feel me? Now we got late. Late. Irrefutably, inexcusably late. You feel me? You gotta take the fine for that. That's where you find me at. That's where you find me at. I didn't try to be late. You put me onto the... Okay, we can stop. That's enough. But you get it. You were late, bro. Late. Not deceased, but late. And then we got sorry. Sorry I'm late. No, you're just sorry, bro. You're sorry. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Off the top of my head, there's only one movie that's going here, and there aren't any movies that are really going here, to be honest. But we're gonna see what I see. We're gonna do what it do, bro. Let's start. 1201. This was the first time loop movie I watched, I believe, when I was doing my research for time loop movies. This is the first one that I actually went back and I said, oh, I say, what is this about? Either the first or second one. I think it was the first one. I don't think a lot of people know about it, to be honest. But yeah, so to just give you a synopsis, it's about this guy, right? Like you couldn't just look up the synopsis on Google, but it's about this guy. Boom, he's at work. He going to work. You know, he is a scientist or something, and he basically, or no, he's not really a scientist, but he works at a desk. Was he a scientist? I forgot. But he works at a place where they do a bunch of science stuff and work with a bunch of engines and stuff like that. Boom, he goes to work. You know, he lives at his mom, or no, he doesn't live with his mom. He lives dolo, but his mom's like, damn, when you met a wifey, bro, what's up? And he's like, damn, I'm going too much into detail. But basically, he goes to work. There's a a lady he likes at work. He's thinking about her, but he's like, damn. He sees some guy hanging out with her. He's like, damn. I'm going too much into detail. But yeah, there's a lady he likes at work that's a doctor or something, right? He leaves the work and she dies. She gets like hit by a car or something. Oh, no. They do a drive-by. They do a whole drive-by in front of the freaking office. Bow! She gets hit with... She gets hit and she meets the woo. It was kind of crazy, I'm not going to lie. I think it came out in 1993, but a drive-by. It was crazy, but He goes home. He's like, damn, not my shorty. No, not my shorty in my head. No. And then he wakes up. Boom. The day started again. What the heck? You wait every time at 12:01. That joint reset. You see the clock. It goes back. So he's like, damn. But that's basically it. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really need to say anything else. I enjoyed it. I think it was right on time. I enjoyed it. I think I like the. Now I'm not gonna lie. At the beginning of the movie, it threw me because it was throwing me hella exposition, and they was just yapping, and I didn't even understand what they was talking about. I kept trying to go back, but it kept throwing me freaking OD terminology that was not really necessary. Expository terminology. I'm like, bro, what are we doing, gang? So, and also the style of speech that they were doing, I was like, and I've watched old movie before, but the way they were speaking, I was like, yo, what's going on here, bro? Like, the way they were speaking was almost incomprehensible. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I liked them. I liked the plot. I liked where it went. The acting was good. It was kind of funny, ironically, sometimes, and I like the kind of mystery aspect of it. And they did the best they could with the you know what I'm saying, that they had. I like how they took different routes with it. And also the thing about me is that I hate incompetence. So in life, but also in any form of media, I just hate incompetence. And so that's kind of something I always judged these movies on. These type of movies on. It's like, okay, boom. After you notice, okay, boom, I'm in a loop. Or the first time you see the loop, it's okay. How long does it take you to realize, yo, I'm in a loop, and or also to adapt to what just happened? Because you obviously you're gonna be a little disoriented. But if you know something happened before and you've seen it happen or whatever, whether you think it's deja vu English or not, you probably act differently, especially if it's something that actively harms. So that's stuff that I judge in these type of movies. And if I recall correctly, he was not 100% incompetent in the first loop, but in the second loop, he was not 100% competent. He was actually able to adapt to his surroundings and situation. And what else I like about it? I might go down here actually because he was kind of creepy, and I know that was the time at the time, like the culture of like hanging around people or not hanging around people, trying to rizz up. But it was type creepy. He was like following her into the office, and like it was just he was on some weird stuff, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I can't lie. He was on some weird stuff, bro. I ain't gonna lie. He was on some weird stuff. And the ending was kind of, no, the ending was fine, but like, I don't want to spoil it, but basically somebody gets wooed, somebody meets the woo, and it's like, yeah, did he really have to meet the woo? But I do like the fact that it kind of added stakes to it, but it also kind of was a little bit like a knot that was not untied, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna put it right here for now, probably just because of the other movies, I think. But I still enjoyed it. It was a good movie. I think I'll probably, I'll rate it. Now, About Time, this is one of them ones, bro. Quick synopsis. My guy in the right, he inherited hereditary. He inherited a time travel kind of power where if he goes in a closet or he goes in an enclosed space, he could. I'm going into detail. Okay, forget everything I just said. My guy inherits a power to go back in time, basically, to specific moments that he can remember, but it's at a certain age. So once he unlocks it, then he can start using it from that time he unlocks it. So, and yeah, it's about him growing up, becoming a man, coming of age, kind of. But yeah, so he goes to work, falls in love, with the family, and it's not. I really love the fact that number one, the score is great. I'm not gonna lie. That's part of the reason why I wish I did this earlier, and I wish I took notes because it's a lot of stuff of the movies I don't remember. But I seen in the freaking description when I googled it, something about the score. And I remember, I'm like, yo, the music in the movie was fire. No cap, the music was fire. The vibes were good. I like the kind of. It just felt very authentic. Like it felt so authentic. It felt so real. So that's the thing I love about it. It's just the authenticity aspect and how they took their time with the characters. They took their time. They used it like the time loop feature very effectively and when it needed to be and not when it didn't. Had a lot of humor. The acting was good. Yeah, the family dynamics and stuff like that. I really enjoyed it, bro. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm not a crier. Crying is not how I express emotion. It's just not my thing. But bro, I ain't gonna lie. I teared up a little bit at the end. I teared up a little bit, bro. Like that joke made. Even just looking at the freaking thumbnail, that joke made me feel something, bro. That just made me feel something, bro. Ooh. And it had good, how do I say this? Like it was very well filmed. Had good scenery and stuff like that. Arc. We do a very quick summary. I'll try to be. Boom. Okay, so guy, log line, right? So a man with the damn, man with the military device. No. Damn. Okay, this guy, he works for. Okay, yeah, this guy is in his house, getting robbed, or yeah, this guy is basically has to figure out a way to evade assaulters while stuck in a time loop. That's basically, if I had to do a synopsis, very short synopsis of it. And yeah, Tom Cruise, his co-star. Also, yeah, Tom Cruise was also in this movie right here. So yeah, multiple movies with Tom Cruise. Shout out Tom Cruise. I think that's Tom Cruise. But yeah, the time loop aspect was kind of confusing. I think I'll probably put it in this tier. It was cool. I can always respect movies or films that do a lot with a little location. Yo, I always respect films that do a lot with a little, bro. Like, and when you watch the film, you see that 90% of the film is inside the freaking house, dog. 90% of it is in the house. There's a small segment where they go outside the house, but 90% of the film is inside the house. You know what I'm saying? And I always appreciate films that just able to do a lot with a little, bro. Do a lot with a little. Like, there's this one in my film class, they talk about this one film that is literally just two people talking. Like, they're stuck in the mud and it's just their heads just talking, and it's like barely one of them once. But yeah, like, just doing a lot with a little. I appreciate the fact that it allowed a little. I don't appreciate. And I thought it was cool how like the time loop effect was like wears off over time and stuff like that. So I thought that was interesting. So it was like a ticking clock type of thing. But at the same time, I feel like I don't know about the dynamic between the co-stars and like their history and stuff like that. I don't know. I felt like it took a little bit long to get to know it, and I don't know. It felt like I don't know. They could have resolved it, not resolved it better, but it just didn't really feel like it was really. It was kind of just like make a decision, to be honest, of like because there's basically a conflict with like the military or whatever. I was like, I don't know. I feel like you should just make a decision. I do think they did a good job with the sense of urgency and not making it feel stale and having a little bit of mystery to it. But I don't like how, I don't know, one of the characters was kind of just like useless. I'm not gonna lie. One of the characters, if you deleted him from the story, it will be exactly the same. You delete one of them characters and it's like, not, I understand side characters, but you delete him from the movie and there's no effect at all. Like, at all. It's no effect at all. And then they threw someone else in there last minute. Not last minute, but threw someone else in there. I'm like, damn, like, just throw him in there. Just throw him in there. Also, spoilers. If you have not watched this movie and you don't want to, and you want to watch this movie, I have to spoil this because it's very much useful for the movie. So if you don't want to see the spoiler, skip about 30 seconds. All right, skip 30 seconds. Right, 3, 2, 1. I don't like the fact that they said, okay, boom, time is looped inside the house, but time is not looped outside the house. Because if time is looped inside the house and time isn't looped outside the house, then how? And as soon as the military knows, then they should rate it, right? But like, I don't know, I'm just confused. Like, if no, okay, boom, right? Because at the end they said, oh, sorry, it's been more than 30 seconds. I sold. I'm sorry. Just give it like a minute, dog. Skip like a minute or two. But essentially, at the end of the movie, they're like, okay, boom, the loop happened multiple times. Basically, the loop broke and then like the glass shattered or whatever, and they had looped again. But I'm like, okay, if they had already, after they went through the loops, whatever, right? After they went through the loops and then reset with Hannah knowing the information or whatever, boom, as soon as the military raided, that should have been it. Because even if, okay, the military raided, but then it looped again, and the military not there no more, the military is still outside the house, so they want to be affected by time loop. So it's just confused, like, huh? You know, like it just kind of fell apart at the end. And I don't rate it for that, but I appreciate it for what it is. All right, boom. Before I fall, sorry. I don't even feel like explaining the plot of the movie. Don't even watch it. Just sorry. Don't even watch it, bro. Essentially, this girl goes to a party, is coming home, gets hit by a car. She's a high schooler. She gets hit by a car. Oh, wait. Yeah, she gets hit by a car. Wait, never mind. Just don't watch it, bro. Like, basically, this girl goes to a party, and somebody gets hit by a car at the party. She goes home, and then she wakes up, and then it's the same day again. And so she's living the same day over and over again. No one else knows it. That's essentially part of the movie. But I'm gonna spoil it because I don't want anyone to watch the movie. Spoiler: the girl who went to the party is actually the one who got hit by the car, and the whole plot of the movie was just her. She was in purgatory basically, and she was learning to accept what happened, and like basically learning about a bunch of stuff about the people that she was interacting with, and all the how the mean how her friends are actually mean girls and actually terrible people, and the person that they thought was a weirdo in school like was actually protecting one of the other ones, and they used to be friends, and she basically was getting bullied for no reason, and yeah, she was basically a bad person. So yeah, and then yeah, at the end she realized that she tries to stop her from killing herself, the one that was getting bullied from killing herself, and was I supposed to say that? Damn, I forgot YouTube. I don't care, but she stopped her and then got hit by the car, and it was like, oh wait, I'm the one who actually met the Wu. So and then when she saw all that, she was able to have peace. But I'm like, okay, boom. I'm saying you gotta suspend disbelief and yada yada. But my whole problem with the thing, I didn't read the book. Apparently the book is worse or whatever. But my whole thing is like that's all made up. like, like that's all made up, gang. Like how you know she didn't invent all that in her head to cope, basically. Now I understand that's not the point of it, right? That's not the point. The point is to treat people nicely, gang, because you don't know. But I'm just like, from the premise of the story, you haven't presented us with the premise or the kayfabe, if you will, that okay, this is actually like real stuff. Like if I say this, if she was actually alive, this is what would be different. Like that's I can't really accept that because you haven't really presented it that way. You kind of when you put the ending, like you kind of not undid everything, but it's like I don't know. Like my thing is okay, no one is. I guess she's changed by the information that she received because she's able to accept it and move on in death or whatever. But no one else is, gang. Like everyone else in the situation is gonna proceed with their life as if the entire plot of the movie did not happen. So that is my issue. You feel me? And that's kind of I really dislike that. But at the same time, you could say that for that one movie. What's that movie where I think it's a DC movie where the Flash, the Flash where he gets moved to a parallel universe after more recent, not recent, but like it was like 3 years ago. But like the Flash movie that came out with Supergirl and Batman and whatnot. But Sasha Kaya, I think that's her name. But yeah, I just don't like that idea, bro. Like, okay, everyone's gonna move on. Like, this didn't happen. The movie essentially did not happen. Like, it happened in her head. It happened in her head. It was a freaking Izanagi, bro. The movie was an Izanagi. Wait, oh my god. Wait, the whole movie was Izanagi. Wait, I understand it now. I understand it now. Oh, it was an Izanagi. I get it now. Okay. It's still sorry, but I'm gonna give it a little more credit because it was just Izanagi. That was literally the movie. So, or no, it was Izanami. My fault, weebs. It was Izanami. The whole movie was Izanami. So, yeah. Read Naruto. I don't know. All right, cool. Edge of tomorrow. Living life. You follow. Sorry, I had to sing my fault. Edge of tomorrow. Basically, boom. This guy, he is in a military kind of situation. They have to fight against aliens, basically, and he's not supposed to be in the he's supposed to be at the front, like in the back rooms, you know what I'm saying, the back. But they send him to the field. He gets in the field. He not used to his gear. He dies. He wakes up. Boom. It's the previous day. It's like, whoa, wait a minute now. And then yeah, we discovered that basically the things they're fighting have like there's a special breed of them that has like time powers and like that. Where if you die to that one and they inject you or whatever and get their power and then you go back in time or something like that. If the blood hits you and you die. I think I like this. I like this movie. I like the dynamic between him and the girl. And I like the fact that it wasn't romance because folks can just be cool. It don't gotta be romance, bro. I mean, they was kind of sort of, but not really. Right? I don't remember it being a romance. I think they were just locked in. And you could just be locked in, bro. You could just be locked in. It don't gotta be romance, bro. You don't gotta do all the romance of society, sex of society, bro. You gotta do all that. So they kept it cute. You feel me? And it was blicking. They had combat. They had training arc. They had learning. There was a very good ticking clock. I kind of like the system they set up with like the emperor or whatever. The system they set up was interesting. The world they set up was interesting. I like the fact that there's some things that no matter what you try, and we're gonna talk about this later. No matter what you try, it's just gonna happen, gang. Like you just gotta accept it. You just gotta accept it. Which I mean, it's just life, obviously. we can't go back in time. There's stuff that we have to just accept. But oh, there's another one I watched. That's not a time loop movie. I watched the movie about the guy who did the drugs and like who made him smart, but then started getting cooked. That's not a time loop movie at all. But that was just around the same timeline. But yeah, I like the fact that they were smart about it, and you know they made a sacrifice play, did what they had to do. They had the happy ending at the end, and just I felt mixed about it because I was like, I like happy endings. Who doesn't like happy endings, right? For the most part. At the same time, I was like, I don't know. It felt like the sacrifice needed to happen. I said, yeah. But I mean, he went through it, bro. He's going through it. So you know, I gotta give props for that. I liked the creatures and how they looked. You know, that was nice. I like the gear that they used. I like the oh my gosh. The thing about I liked was like the fact that they were looping, but neither was aware that the other one was until they informed them. Or like they saw it in a different way. That was really interesting because that's like a mind melt type of situation. Like I love when they do that stuff like that, where it's like the unreliable narrator thing. It fries me, and for good and for bad, I have criticism of like when you have an unreliable narrator. But when you have like two unreliable narrators narrating to each other, that makes for a really interesting dynamic. So it's really interesting. Something I love about movies is okay. You can learn so much about somebody by just conversing with them, or just asking the right questions. You learn so much about somebody. So it's so interesting watching them converse with each other, knowing, okay, you did this, now I can tell you this. You know what I'm saying? Or okay, boom, I'm gonna do this. You know, like watching the speedrunner conversation at the end, great to me. The stupid political leaders, logical, realistic. So yeah, I like the movie. I rate it. Groundhog Day, the original, the OG. I don't feel like it's been a Groundhog Day, bro. Like. A guy wakes up, Groundhog Day, he's kind of a bad person, weatherman. He goes to a city, a town, he has to report to for Groundhog Day. It's a snowstorm, he gets stuck there, he wakes up, he's there the next day. It's time so because he woke up in the town. It was cool. It's like an awesome ending. But, and you know, he had to learn, right? As a character, he had to learn. He had to get character development. But, and it actually, I rate it for the reason of like actually telling the audience, hey, sex is not the goal of a relationship. That's not the goal. Okay, you like it actually showed. Okay, you get what you wanted, but was it actually what you wanted? You feel me? And it shows that explicitly, and it shows that straight to your face. Basically, it's like okay, he keeps wanting this, but it's like, what do you want it for? You feel me? Now I don't like the ending because it kind of implies that, you know what I'm saying? But still, it's like, yo, once you get easy, you lose easy, gang. It'll take some more time. So consider that. And also, I don't know, you're just weird, bro. Like, you have to actually learn about somebody to have a connection with them. Like, infatuation, bro. It really teaches, okay, boom. Like, you can be infatuated with a person and not know nothing about them. That's not going to end well for you. It's not going to end well for anybody. So, infatuation does not build a good relationship, bro. Obsession does not build a good relationship. You have to actually connect with the person on a human level, bro. Like, the best way to connect with someone on a human level is to show them the love of God that Jesus Christ showed when he died on the cross. You understand what I'm saying? So, you're not going to get that from the bedroom, gang. That's not what you're going to get it, bro. That level, I need to understand this person, so we need to go to the... No! Stop it. Get some help, okay? So, I rate the movie for showing that. But for that reason, I'm not going here too. I'll go up there. I like the story with him and the guy, the old guy, who he died, but hey, help him out, bro. You gotta stop, right, and listen. You know what I'm saying? Stop and listen, bro. What did you just say? Hey, what good is it if you see a poor person on the road, you say, oh, God bless you. I pray for you. God bless you. You move on. You don't give him a dime. So, epic. I don't care about no freaking Honkai Star Rail game. Yeah, what good is it? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and I like how he learned. I mean, learning how to be a better person. Like, you don't need to get overly into the technology or whatever. You just learning to be a better person. So yeah, I don't feel like going. This video's gone long anyway. So yeah, I'll rate it now. I'm naked. This is perfect to go in this tier. And by the way, it perfectly goes in this tier. Essentially, this guy, he is on his wedding day, wakes up naked in a hotel room. Yeah, and whenever he gets to the wedding, he goes back and it makes, or basically if he dies or he gets cooked or whatever, he wakes up again, naked in the freaking hotel. In a hotel elevator, actually. It's in the, it's not even a room, it's an elevator. So you can imagine he'd be confused, like, okay, it's the day I'm about to get married. Why am I naked in the elevator? So let me give pros first, right? Pros. It has funny scenes and funny moments, dude. It has funny scenes, has funny moments. It's like shenanigans, you know, interesting to see that. And it does have a good direction of where it goes, you know, like the mystery element, I should say. Mystery element and stuff like that is nice. Discovering more things, not just about like the loop or whatever, but the mystery element and then teaches us about the characters themselves too, and about how he is just an unserious person, and and how an unserious person thrown into an unserious situation. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta lock in, or unserious situation that's supposed to be a serious situation. Whatever. But the issue with the movie, right? I know, Marvel leaves it. But the first 10 minutes of dialogue, or I think it's 5 minutes of dialogue. Or is it 10? The first 5 to 7 minutes of dialogue are some of the worst, most corny, cringe-inducing dialogue. When I first tapped into it, I was like, I literally clicked off of it. I was like, bro, I'm not watching this, bro. And I somehow got through it. And I had an okay time, it was decent time. But I got to tax it for that. I got to tax it because it was kind of just loopy all over the place, Dialogue, generally speaking, wasn't very good, It was a bit too, it was just over the top. And how slapstick editing, I don't know. But overall, I think I enjoyed it. So, Palm Springs, I'm not even going to describe it, game. Palm Springs, but a demo in this game. So, my man, he's basically at his, damn, why low-key forgot the plot? Oh, wait. Because somebody said something, okay, if I recall correctly, boom, my man's, he's at his guy's wedding or something like that. He's tight. Wait, no. That's when we first met. I keep getting them confused. Yeah, basically, my man is single and he's going through it. It's tough. He does not like his life. And Shorty over here, he also I forgot. Hold on, 1 second. Yeah, I'm gonna lie. I watched that joke
a few minutes later.
9 months ago, 10 months ago. I had to look up the synopsis real quick. Okay, yeah. So yeah, my man's was at his man's wedding, and the Shorty was the maid of honor. Boom. He doesn't sleep with his girl or whatever, and then this other girl who's made honor, boom, he gets on my side, sleeps with her, and then he is shot with an arrow by somebody. But then actually she follows him into a cave, and boom, they're in a time loop. My man's in time loop already. So he's dragged her into time loop. Nice. So yeah, they're just stuck in a time loop. They're trying to figure out things to do, trying to figure out damn, what has my life become? So and they end up learning things about each other, learning about the situation at hand, learning about some scandals, you feel me? And ultimately, the lesson is, hey gang, can't be stuck. Life is dynamic, gang. You can't be stuck in one place, gang. You can't be stuck in the past, gang. I move forward. Be stuck, gang. Move forward. Now, actually, I feel like I gotta move it down because I don't remember. Because I had to, when I was reading the synopsis, I was like, oh yeah, I remember Exodus, this, and this, but I don't remember the fine details and stuff like that. And yeah. Also because it has a lot of similarities with when we first met, so I kind of get them mixed up. But I remember a lot more of when we first met. I think it's because of how. But it's a great movie, so I feel like I gotta put it right here because I enjoyed it. But at the same time, I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle. I would like here because it was over. Oh, really? All right, let's go. Primer. Is basically these guys discover time travel. It's really, really sciencey. It's really, really complicated, and it tries to explain time travel logically. And but the plot kind of just goes off the rails, but it gets to a point where it's hard to follow, and then you think you understand it, but then when I got to the quarter ending motions of the movie, I was like, oh, I'm cooked. I don't know what's going on. I thought I got it, but then I didn't. I had to look it up on Reddit and stuff like that to figure it out because I was like, I know, but that's kind of the point. The point is you're supposed to rewatch it and stuff like that. But I was like, I had to watch a YouTube video and read the Reddit to kind of understand some of the stuff that went on. Basically, yeah, they do it in a way to where they're you basically can't interact with the world. Once you interact with the world, it gets messed up. But multiple of them exist. I mean, every single time you time travel, multiple of you exist at the same time. But it was in a way that was you isolate yourself in a box or whatever, put the chemicals inside, but then if you don't put the chemicals inside, you cooked. And then they basically hold each other because it's okay, well, I'm traveling, but unreliable narrative type of thing. Okay, boom, one person is from one time, the other person the other time, you don't know. And then also the thing where it's okay, if multiple of you exist, and then one of you kills the other, whatever. It gets into a lot of the messed up stuff, and I'll rate it for that. I'll rate it for the actually trying to stick to a scientific, being scientifically sound, if that makes sense. But as much as you can be making a movie, basically they did the research, bro. They did the research to try to make it plausible, and they don't hold the hand of the audience. Right. But at the same time, the beginning of the movie, I didn't even know what they were talking about. They were yapping about a fridge, basically, but I don't know. And yeah, I'll rate it. It was definitely you have to lock in. I'll probably, I put it up, but put it in this. Project Almanac, where my man's got hold for, I don't want to spoil it. Okay, very quick spoiler, skip ahead 10 seconds. My man's got hold because because he wanted to date a girl, or because he fumbled his girl, bro. He fumbled. It was supposed to be his girl, not supposed to be his girl. Like, fumbled her, and basically got hold. Like the whole timeline got cooked because of that. If you watch the movie, you know what I'm talking about. That was basically the only thing that cooked the timeline, bro. Because a bunch of other things happened that did not happen before, like that they didn't recall before, and they heavily implied that because of that one thing events. Hey, canon events are real, bro. Canon events are real for your character development, bro. So when you encounter a canon event in your life, accept it. Accept what it is, bro. Accept what it is. Don't run away from it. Embrace the moment. Embrace it as a way to learn and grow. Because if you don't learn and grow, you're worse off for it. That's the lesson I got from the game. Because that was hard. That was hard. Also, the ending kind of hurt my brain a little bit, but I liked it. I liked it. It was enjoyable. I think I'll put it in the same area as like Groundhog Day. Yeah, I'll probably put this like same tier. I'll probably like the worst of these. Or yeah, they're all in the same tier. They're all in the same. Run Lola Run. It's not actually a time loop movie at all. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's literally just parallel timelines. They're parallel timelines, which is a hell of other movies. But we're putting it in there because I watched it. It was cool. It was alright. It was cool. It was cool. I feel like if I put it here, I'm gonna get slated because it was like it's like a is it Russian or I think it's Russian, right? Yes, Russian, and like it's like a different style of movie. It's not traditional, you know. It has a different camera angles. It has like the random cartoon cutaways and stuff like that, and like the, you know, it's not like a regular normie movie, bro. And so I'm like a normie, but it was cool. You know, I didn't like how she kept making dumb decisions and stuff like that, but at the same time, I get it that that's kind of the point. You're not really supposed to empathize with her, and I didn't really like the ending either. So yeah, but I did like the hints and stuff like that. They did have hella hints that they popped in there. So I feel like I gotta put it in here because when they drop the hints, like the guy with the bike and they when they drop stuff and they make you use it later, I thought that was really interesting. So the use of like callbacks, I love the callbacks and stuff like that. But it was alright. It was cool. It was cool. Alright. It was cool. It was alright. Source code. My guy in the train, he is in a simulation. Basically, he's in a train and there's a bomb that goes off in Chicago. So yes, the plot. It was cool. All right, Tenet. Sorry. Well, Tenet, I feel like it's not sorry, but it is. Tenet is very entertaining. Perfect. It's pretty entertaining. But yeah, it's essentially like a reverse time. Like it doesn't really make sense. And I feel like I gotta put it here because I like the idea of populating it and making it this even. It doesn't really make sense. It doesn't. And it tells you in the movie that it does not really make sense. So yeah, and like the fact that the protagonist doesn't have he's just the protagonist because you gotta, I don't know. And then it's like, oh, actually it was him that hired him basically to do this job and assassinate, save the world or whatever. And they're like, oh, the future is fighting back against us. And like they never explained that. There's way too much stuff that's just never really explained at all. They were just supposed to accept and move on with. It doesn't make any sense. It's better than Before I Fall. I would honestly say it's a whole tier in between this and Before I Fall. But honestly, these low-key should be in the same tier. But I had derived more enjoyment out of this. Or I enjoyed this more until I thought about it. And I was like, yeah, X, Y, and Z don't make any sense. They're not explained at all. I did not like that. So now when we first met, right here. That's the exact type of movie I was looking for. So I gotta give you props. I gotta thumbs up. I gotta put 1201. I should probably put 1201 up here because it's more of the movie that I was kind of looking for. Yeah, I'll put it up there, honestly. So no, I'll put it down here because look at how even this is. Look how evenly, you know what I'm saying? It looks so nice. But yeah, it's literally like this is my man's. He wanted the girl that this guy over here is getting married to, and got put in a camera booth in it. Boom, it was time loop back, saw different scenarios if he did things differently. So and I accepted that, you know what I'm saying? Hey, sometimes the person you're looking for is ready. What did they say? Everything I look for, shakata. It is how you're shakata. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. If you don't, you're done. So hey, I liked it. I liked the aspects. I liked the character dynamics. I liked the humor was funny to me, even though I know it's like more of a not corny, but like, you know, one of the type of movies with my man's. But I enjoyed it. He wasn't insufferable. Also, I like the fact that it kind of showed, okay, boom, you can have sometimes what you think you want, you don't really want. What you think you want, you don't really want, gang. And also what you covet, you know what I'm saying, from others, you covet it so much, you probably wouldn't even like it if you got it, bro. Or you don't even know how they live it for real. You don't even know how they live it, bro. Furthermore, getting something by dishonest means, the means which you get something is as important as you getting it, bro. It's even more important than you getting it, bro. Is the means. How you get it matters. My man just said it the other day, bro. How you get it matters, bro. How you get to it matters, bro. So you snake, you slime, you backdoor to get to it. That matters, bro. That matters, gang, matters. So treat people with dignity and respect that they are due, that you would like to receive. Keep it pushing, bro. Keep it P. Sometimes that bad shorty that you always want to talk to, bro, that not for you. In the words of Lil Tecca, that words is rent free in my mind, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, stay in your lane. My man just said the other day, water your garden, bro. Water your garden. You know what I'm saying? Tend to your garden. Folks, go and look at the garden and, you know what I'm saying, invest in your produce. So, with that being said, that is the tier list. I am editing silence in this video. I might edit the spoiler of what I said or something like that, but I'm not really editing this video like that because I think you need to understand my perspective. I need to stop recording now. So, appreciate y'all for watching. If you have any questions, comments, you know, disagreements, agreements, any additions to the movie list, anything you suggest for me to watch in this kind of category, suggest it right there in the comments section. And bye. Ooh.